Now we move on to the next presenter, speaker, Dr. Rajesh. Just a short introduction about you and then over to you. Dr. Rajesh G Konnur, he is an educational member, editorial member of International Journal of EBN, Emergency and Trauma Nursing, Nursing Science Practice and Research. So the topic is going to present is on manuscript drafting and publication process. Over to you, Doctor.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to one and all those who joined here. A hearty welcome to 10th Texila World Conference for Scholars on the theme AI and the future of teaching, learning, navigating a virtual frontier. Okay. I, Dr. Rajesh G Konnur, Pro Vice Chancellor at an Eudoxia Research University in Newcastle, USA, and also a Director of an Eudoxia Research Center, welcomes to you to this renowned conference. Okay. Today, in my session, we will see about how we have to write a manuscript, and then we have to go for a publication. Okay. You see that after doing whether it is an undergraduate or postgraduate or an doctorate or a postdoctoral, you have to publish the what you have done the work. So you have to craft it. Okay. Crafting a high quality research manuscript involves a very, very meticulous process from defining the research question to navigating the final publication of the stages. Okay. From selecting the topic till it has to publish. So when you are selecting the problem or a title, okay, you have to know that what type of a title I have to need. So go for finding out very in-depth review of literature that where the gap is there. It is known as a knowledge gap or a research gap. Pinpoint any area in your field that requires further investigation or an understanding. Maybe it is at the methods, methodology, sampling, and also at its applications. So you have to know the different types of gap, which helps you to know the significance, because ultimately the readers has to read your paper and they have to cite maximum. Next one is refine the scope. Okay. Clearly define the boundaries of your study to ensure focused and in-depth exploration, okay, where it is applicable. And whenever you're choosing any topic, okay, it must be very, very significant and newest to the world, okay. Formulate the research question, very, very important. You have to craft a concise, thought-provoking question that your study aims to answer, okay. Because you see that one, first you have to choose the question, that one which is very, very significant, and it must be solved within the limited time. And also others, when you will publish it, they have to read it, okay. On this basis, you have to choose the title and you have to do the work, or whether you want to write a review paper or a research paper, okay. This you have to keep it in mind. So we have to go for a review of literature, very, very in-depth. You have to go for a very comprehensive review and do the critical analysis, whether it fits to today's world or not. And you have to have a checklist. Contextualize your work. Understand how your research fits into the broader landscape of your field. Because whenever you are publishing it, you have to see that when the very wider community or in wider readers, okay, they have to read, then they have to cite your paper. So prepare the methodology and experimental design. Okay, if you are having your own paper, you want to write it. Okay, it is called as a research paper. So do the research, okay, experimental approach, okay, determine the methods, okay, methodology, how you are doing it, and the protocol. Go for data collection, very, very important. What type of research you are doing, whether it is in quantitative research, qualitative research, and also mixed methods of research. So what type of methodology, research design you have chosen, and also how you collecting the data, whether it is an quantitative, like an questionnaires, okay, because it must be closed-ended. It's not an open-ended, okay. If it is an mixed methods, then on the time you have to construct the tools of data collection as in both, because we have to do the analysis in a quantitative and qualitative way. And depending upon your objectives, okay, and the design and the method you have collected, then you can go for a data analysis. It is known as a statistical analysis. You can use the AI softwares like an SPSS, okay, and also an NVO, MaxQDA, or Python for the data analysis. Then is the data collection and analysis. We have to have a meticulous data collection. You have to know that on the basis of your choose a problem and also an objectives. You have to prepare the tool. So construct the tool, whether it is in quantitative or qualitative or mixed methods, and follow the construction of the tool. Okay, and it must have a high reliability and validity, and it must give all the things what you want to analyze it. Then interpret the results according to the objectives. After this one, okay, you have to draft the manuscript. Very important. There are so many ways of drafting the manuscript because you have to disseminate the findings. Okay, so there are so many formats are there. It depends upon on your what type of a domain you are, whether you are in medical sciences, nursing sciences, okay, or in engineering. Usually they will follow an IEEE. Okay, and what type of a manuscript you want to prepare it, whether it is a full thesis or it is a partial one, whether it is in just a block you are writing it, you have to consider it. So start with an IMRAD. Usually we will follow an IMRAD format like an introduction, methods, methodology, results, and discussion, and at last the writing the references. Okay, this is the format. But overall, first and foremost, you have to have an introduction. It must be very catchy, and others has to know. Okay, when they will read it, they have to get an interest. This you can write and at last. Okay, next is the methodology, methods and methodology, how you collect the data, then how you done it, then you have to show it in statistical terminologies. Okay, next is the results depending upon your objectives, and you have to do the abstraction. Okay, which is more important. First you can write, then you can go for it. Next, when you are in submitting it, okay, submit without any payment. Okay, there are so many platforms out there. You can visit like in PubMed is there. Okay, Web of Science is there, then Scopus publications are there, UGC publications are there, then Gates and Melinda, okay, Foundation, they're also having publications. Then you search it. Okay, there are so many databases, AI-based softwares are available to search it. So go for it. Open what to say publication. Otherwise also both blinded one if it is there. Okay, then don't pay even a single pay, then you publish it. Okay, then it must be genuine, it must have a high impact factor, G index, I index. Okay, you have to consider DOI and ISSN or an ISBN number. So it has to have an feedback, incorporate constructive feedback from peers or subject matter experts. If they say that one, it is an peer review journals. Okay, you are submitting it. Okay, sometimes you have to follow the guidelines of the journal or in publishers. If they say that one, if they accept it, is very well and good. If they don't accept it, don't be disheartened. You can modify it, then you can submit it. Do the revisions, then maintain the quality assurance. Quality assurance is nothing but you have to adhere to the publication ethics and research ethics. Very important. You have to take an permission. Okay, and don't manipulate anything when you are having an publications in an what you say group. Okay, so on the time you have to have an authorship 1, 2, 3. Next, you can go for a submission and publication process. You have to select the journal. Okay, so which are all the journals it source? It depends upon your topic and domain. Okay, whether you are in psychology or in social sciences or in mechanical engineering, you have to select the related one. Go for Scopus Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 journals and UGC care list journals, ADBC journals. Okay, then Web of Science, PubMed, depending upon it, or an IEEE journals. Okay, these are all the things you can select it. There are AI softwares are available, like in journal finders you can find out. Next one is the submission guidelines. Adhere to specific formatting and requirements of the target journal. Very important. Read the guidelines of each journal. Think that one you want to what to say publish it the concept. Okay, for in 2 or 3, don't do it. But still, if you want to having any different thoughts, okay, to submit it, prepare according to that journal the same content. Okay, because it varies. Always follow the guidelines, because how they want, what type of format they want, whether they want an IMRAD format, Pico format, or there are so many different types of formats, and what type of paper you are writing, whether it is a narrative paper or a case study paper or what you call meta-analysis paper or secondary paper or in review paper or scooping papers. Okay, all the things you have to keep it in mind and target the journal very genuine one. Don't go for a cloned or predatory journals. Okay, otherwise you will be a victim. Next one is the peer review process. be prepared for a thorough review by the journal's editorial board, okay? Because they are having their own process of reviewing it. You just check out that on whether the reviewers are adhered to the global ethical committee, okay? There are like an COPE, okay? There are so many organizations are there, whether they are abided to it or not. Just to do the cross check, you just email them or phone them, or you can contact them personally. Then you can see that on whether the journal is genuine or not. Okay. Next, final publication, make the things that are what are the things. Okay, are you adhered to the guidelines of the publishers or not? You have to keep it in mind and make a checklist. That is the best one, because the format. Then whether you have constructed it, it is in an IMRAD format or there, or in your the reference section, okay, and also the plagiarism. Always you have to keep it in mind that, and it must be negligible. So you have to quote it. How to quote, whether it's a long quotation, short quotation, then what FFN citations and what FFN style they are asking. Maybe in reference styles like an APA style, MLA style, Oxford style. So we have to adhere to the different styles of each publisher. So you can make use of an Mendeley, Jotiro, EndNote. These softwares will help you for the you can do review of literature. You can contact others. You can use this one as an reference management software also. Okay. Next is the final publication. If they accept it, is very good. If they say that one, yes, you do some of the changes, then you do changes, and before the time you publish, you send the paper to the publisher with a covering letter, a request letter, okay, draft it very nicely in a very, very critical style, okay, that one from to, okay, adhere to the principles of letter writing, then you can submit it for the publishers. So if you see overall, the research manuscript drafting process involves meticulously organizing findings, methods, and conclusions into a very, very coherent document, okay? Because it is not your thesis, or you are not writing any story, okay? But you are writing as a scientific paper. Always keep it in mind. From outlining to revising, each step demands attention to detail and adherence journal guidelines. Very, very important. You have to follow the guidelines. First, you read the guidelines, then you read the paper. Okay. Upon completion, the manuscript undergoes peer review, where experts evaluate its rigor and significance, whether it is applicable now or not. Okay. Successful publication hinges on addressing reviewers' feedback, ensuring clarity and contributing novel insights to academic community. With this one, I end today's seminar. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Doctor, for the wonderful presentation. We now move on to the Q&A. Participants and attendees can post your questions in the chat box, and Dr. Rajesh will be answering them. Meanwhile, we have also enabled polls. I request all the participants to partake in the polls. Dr. Rakesh, we have a question in the chat box. Very useful information. Thanks, Dr. Rakesh. Is this the same process followed by TAU?
So you have to go through the guidelines of each one, then you submit it, okay?
Doctor, we have one more question. How do you determine the high impact journal?
Okay, it is in 2 years, it will be there. High impact factor means maximum rejection, okay? Keep it in mind. So you have to adhere to the guidelines, then you have to submit.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh, for the wonderful presentation, for your valuable time.